Hey Ben,
Hey Jay,
it's been a little while, hasn't it?
like 3 years?
Well, 3 years since our last episode. I mean, I talked to you a couple of weeks ago.
Right. Um, shall we say for our listeners, it's been 3 years. I don't know, they might be worried about us.
That's a good point. I don't want them to believe that we've been estranged from each other. We haven't. We talk a lot. We talk all the time. We just haven't done a podcast. We went on hiatus.
Yes, a hiatus. But we're back today.
Yes, we are. This isn't really part of a plan. This is just kind of saying yes and to a great guest.
Indeed. Sometimes the universe presents you with an opportunity and you say yes.
Well, before we introduce him, don't you think we ought to start properly? You know you want to.
I do.
All right, let it rip, buddy.
Get your gear ready. This is a Sherpa's Guide to Innovation.
Hello and welcome once again to A Sherpa's Guide to Innovation, a podcast dedicated to guiding you along your innovation expedition. We are your Sherpa hosts, Ben Tingy and Jay Gerhardt. How are you, Jay?
I'm great. I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous. We're out of practice.
Yeah, I'm I feel a little twitchy, but it's like riding a bike.
You
That's
guys are
right.
back in the saddle. Let's go. Come
We
on.
are.
You're doing
That's
great.
right.
We are. Well,
And
well, then let's get to our
Ben
guest.
rolls out the radio voice.
Let,
Yeah,
let's get to the guest because he is not here to watch us talk.
Oh man.
exactly. Exactly. I agree. Well, we are thrilled to return after 3 years for a special edition. This is episode 115 of A Sherpa's Guide to Innovation. Our guest is the one and only Nick Adkins, co-founder of Pinksocks Life, a 10-year-old charitable organization focused on promoting human connection around the world. Nick recently became an author with the release of Pink Socks: How a Pair of Socks Became a Symbol of Love and Connection. Nick is not just a founder and an author, he's created an international movement. He's a Pied Piper of empathy, love, and human connection. We'll leave our introduction at that because Nick can tell his story much better, and we'll give him time to do that. So, Nick, welcome to A Sherpa's Guide to Innovation.
Ben, Jay, thanks. It's really good to see you guys, and I'm glad you came out of hiatus. And I'm happy to be here to share the book, share more about Pink Socks and what's been going on around the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Years, man. It's a thing. I mean, my beard was a lot shorter and not quite as white years ago.
Well, we are looking forward to talking to you more about the journey, the book in particular, and it's as always, it's great to see you. I haven't seen you for a while, so it's
Yeah, it's been a
awesome,
minute.
and we'll get down
I
to
don't
it.
think I've seen you since the COVID days.
I Yeah, we saw you did some Zooms during
Yeah,
COVID. We
we were
did
when
that.
everybody was on lockdown. We were doing
Yeah,
some group hugs every once in a while just to keep
yeah. And
ourselves together.
in real life, we saw each other in Wilmington way back when. It's something
Yeah,
called Cucaloris. I don't even really remember
yeah.
why it was
Wow,
Cucaloris. Sounds like some weird kind of dinosaur, but yeah,
yeah.
we did some Pink Sock stuff
That
there.
was a cool event. It was a film festival.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to get us started and to orient our listeners a little bit to the book and to the Pink Socks movement, Nick, could you just give us some brief context and history to get us started, and then we'll dive into some questions.
Yeah. So, April of 2015, Andrew Richards and I went rolling in from Portland, Oregon to Chicago to a healthcare conference, about 42,000 people in suits and ties, healthcare IT executives and pros. And, I'd already given up pants at that point. Last time I wore pants was June of 2012. So in April of 2015, it was nothing but kilts. And I told Andrew, hey, don't wear a suit, just wear some blue jeans and a brew pub t-shirt. And we're gonna I'm gonna buy 100 pair of these knee-high pink socks with black handlebar mustaches on them. You put 50 in your bag, I'll put 50 in my little bag. We'll go rolling in there. And every time somebody comes up and says, hey, what's your story? We'll say, oh, I'm Nick. This is Andrew. What's your name? And we'll gift them a pair of pink socks just to celebrate and have fun with the connection. And we started using this hashtag pink socks, always one word, always plural. And it went viral at that event. And it just really, it's never slowed up. We never looked back. And 2017, I got invited to do a TEDx talk in San Francisco, and that really got the message out. And now, 10 years later, over 300,000 pairs of pink socks have been gifted all around the world. People celebrating each other, showing up with kindness and empathy and compassion and connection and love, all the stuff that makes life beautiful. And just grateful to be a part of it and to see how it's grown through the years. And, this book, I tell you, guys, for years, people have been saying, Nick, you should write a book. And I was like, no. And finally, about 2.5 years ago, I started this book. So it was probably the most difficult project I've ever done in my life,
Uh-huh.
was writing this book because I think both of you have read the book, so this will be fun that we can really have a good conversation about the book.
Yeah.
Um, you know, the book's not about me, it's about us. And so I had this, weight of this responsibility that, wow, there's all of these people in the Pink Sox tribe all around the world. Like I say, we've gifted over 300,000 pairs of pink socks. That doesn't count all the, countless stickers and cufflinks and necklaces and earrings and hats and shirts and hoodies and ties and hair scrunchies and, cupcakes and on and on and on, right? So there's no real accounting for how many people are out there that have felt the ripple effect of pink socks. So I wanted to tell, there was really three audiences to write the book to, three circles, if you will. That first circle was everybody that's already in the Pink Sox tribe, especially the OG, Jay, right? People have been from the beginning. To really tell the origin story, get into some of the details of that, and then tell some stories of how it's grown along the way. The second audience, or the second circle, were the people that have heard about pink socks, but they don't have their pink socks yet. And then the third circle, which was really the largest circle, where the people have no idea what
Mhm.
this, never even heard about it. And it's that audience that really drove the development of the book and guided how the book would flow and the message that the book would share. And that message, as you know, is like our logo, the love more, right? Love
Mhm.
more, fear less is the whole thing, but just the love more. Um, that is the message. And that message resonates with everyone. It's a human message. It's nothing new. That message has been handed down through time.
But
And
you can't tell it uh, too many times though. As you talk about, it was a hard task to write the book. I imagine it was hard to figure out what to put in it and what not to put in it. And
yeah,
I do want to, give you a lot of credit for one. What I really think you did right is this is a book that's robust, but you can sit and read it in an hour or so. Or just one or two sittings and get it. And I
that's by design.
and it works. And I actually can tell you a proof point that it works for your third category is I gifted this book to a couple of very dear friends last week. We get together for dinner before holidays, and I often bring them books, but I didn't intend to. I wasn't going to do that this year. And I had just gotten the book and read it, and you had reached out to me before pretty recently, and my wife said, "What are you going to get? Are you going to bring them the book?" I was like, "Oh, I wasn't thinking about that, but that's a fantastic idea." So I brought them the book, and one of these very dear friends uh, started reading a few days ago. He was in the doctor's office and he was reading it while he was waiting. He said, "I'm loving this book." He's your third category. Never heard about it. Heard from him over the weekend, and he's like, "I absolutely love this. I'm getting it for all of our family members for Christmas, and then I'm getting it for the senior executives of our leadership team of the organization he works with." And so
Yeah.
I know it's an N of one, Nick, but there's a
Oh,
good proof point for you.
well, thank you for sharing that book and gifting it. And as um, Pink Socks, the movement itself is built on this ethos of gifting. That's how we've grown through the years. Someone gifted you your socks, and you've gifted Pink Socks along the way to so many people. The book is going to grow and spread by that same ethos.
Yeah.
And so that you picked up on that intuitively and organically is part of the magic of Pink Socks. And it is a message that's worth sharing. It is a message that's needed. That's really why I finally did write the book. I believe the book needed these 10 years to kind of write itself for the stories to happen. And you're right, it was difficult task to decide what to put in and what to leave out
Yeah.
because there's so many stories along the way that we've all shared.
Yeah.
And so the book is a collection of some of those stories. And I guess I would ask you, what spoke to your, and I'll ask each of you. We'll start with Jay. Jay,
Yeah.
what spoke to your heart the most as you read the book?
I think I think what was I just thought, we'll save the stories, but what really struck me is this image of you in the van and how in 2022 you outfit the Pink Sox van, and this is Nick Adkins on the road. And the stories you told, I could just, and having met you, I could just picture you, you know, at a truck stop and the van's there. And you're maybe, I don't know what, maybe you sit out in a lawn chair outside the truck. I don't know how you do it, but it creates conversation. And I think one of the things I got a great respect for, not just what you do, but what you're promoting, is that when you create a connection, an opportunity for a conversation, in these conversations, you get really present and you really listen. And our listeners have heard me talk about improv before. I've written a blog that I think you've seen on the crossover between improv and Pink Socks. But it's just the ability to have conversations, often with people who are really different from you are, and that's hard. And it's it's honestly kind of a hard thing to live up to because I was like, gosh, could I really have that conversation? Could I? And it's just that's what really resonated to me is the ability of not Nick Adkins but Pink Socks to bring people together for unexpected conversations that neither party would have expected.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. As the label on the back of every pair of Pink Socks says, the instructions are on the back, and
Hmm.
you guys already know this, but on the back of every pair of Pink Socks are these instructions. It says every time you wear these, you're going to connect with someone new. Someone's going to see you in these Pink Socks and say, "Hey, those are cool socks." That's your opportunity to connect with someone. Had you not been wearing the socks that day, the two of you would have missed each other.
Hmm.
So don't miss every one of those connections. And as you know from wearing your Pink Socks through the years and gifting Pink Socks, that happens. And I tell people, maybe it's their first pair of Pink Socks and, their first day they're going to wear their Pink Socks out. I said, listen, someone's going to, just like the label says, someone's going to comment on them. Don't just say thank you and keep walking. Stop. Take
Hmm.
your earbuds out, get off your phone, maybe stay on the bus another stop. Say, hey, I'm Jay, what's your name? Connect, right? The magic is in those moments of connection. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. A lot of people, can be introverted and say, well, that's not my style, right? And so you have to kind of lean into
Yeah.
this moment of connection because the reality, and we talk about some of this in the book, is people crave connection. We all crave connection. It's hardwired in our DNA. It's back here in our brainstem. We want to connect. And in a world that can be sometimes dark and fractured, we lose that sense of connection. And we also confuse this, our
Hmm.
phones. This is not connection. This is connectivity. But connectivity and connection are different things.
Yeah.
And so the book, I hope, is a reminder of how we are all in this together. And that's the puzzle piece on the design element of the socks. The OG pink socks only had the mustache, as you remember, Jay.
Uh-huh.
And then
Yes.
2017, when I did that TEDx talk in San Francisco, I added the puzzle piece to
Yep.
represent pink socks connecting people all around the world.
Yeah.
And and it's true. And to your point about van life, I did a little over a year, almost a year and a half in the van uh, when we got locked down for COVID and uh, in 20, I guess it was 21, beginning of 21, Pink Sox Life acquired a van. And the van looks, there's pictures, I think maybe in the book or
Hmm.
definitely find on our
Yep.
Instagram account. Uh, the book, the van looks a lot like the logo. It's a giant Love More, van rolling down the road with a message from the label on the socks. The world is full of good. When you believe it, you see it. Keep doing that. And so I literally drove that van in every state in the US. I
Mm.
went Canada, Mexico, all the way up to Nova Scotia, as far as you can go
Wow.
to tip Nova Scotia. And so and many times, in fact, the majority of the time, I tried to navigate without using an interstate. So I was just taking state roads. So you really get into communities and see different people and share space with a lot of stories, a lot of heartspeak. And every time I would stop and fill the van up with diesel, there's always, that person across on the other side of the pump who would be looking at the van and me, here's a guy in a kilt. They probably don't know it's a kilt. It's like, oh, this guy's in a dress and pink socks. What's going on here? In this hippie van, or what is this? I could see them looking at the van and reading the message, and they look at me and they go, what is all this about? Okay, great. Here I go. This is a moment to have an authentic connection, a true authentic connection. And I would always, when they would ask me that question, I'd look at the van, I'd look back at them, I go, well, what does it mean to you? Because that's what's important,
Yeah.
right? What does it mean to you? And they would routinely all come back with something like, it means we need to be nicer to each other. We need to be kinder. That's exactly what it means. And oftentimes that person on the other side of the pump would say, hey, and I always also, as first of all, I'd say, hey, I'm Nick, what's your name? And they'd give me their name and I'd always say their name back. Hey, Bob. Hey, Susan, what does it mean to you? And many times, they would say, and I'd usually reach in and give them a pair of pink socks, because I have a box full right there. Uh, Many times they would say, hey, do you have a minute? Dude, of course I've got a minute. I got nothing but time. I'm just doing van life. Uh, and so we'd pull over, in the parking lot and stand out and talk and they would share stories, their heart speak. And those stories were rarely happy stories. They're mostly stories of pain, sadness, and loss. Stories like I just found out that I have cancer, or my wife just died from cancer, or my son's in rehab, my daughter's in prison. I was thinking about killing myself today. I mean, just on and on. And sometimes that would say, hey, well, I've got a couple of soccer chairs, and let me pull these out and let's park over here in the shade under this tree and just sit there. And sometimes those minutes could turn into hours of just sitting and listening to someone's story. And this book has a few stories from van
Mhm.
life. Uh, so you get a peek of
Yeah.
a couple of stories from van life. I probably think there's going to be two more books.
Oh,
The next book will be stories from van life, nothing but van life stories.
yeah.
The third book will be shared stories. So stories from the tribe, stories
Hmm.
that you have had that we want to share. So uh, I'm glad I'm glad the book spoke to your heart, Jay. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
And and I think what these stories in the book can do is you're not the point of the book is to not say, hey, go buy a van and drive all over the place and talk to people. But I think that when you read these, anyone, whatever their context is, can look and say, okay, what if I took a moment and find a way to talk to somebody in real life, which we're doing less and less of, and create a connection. So it does a great job doing that.
Yeah, and I thank you for that. And I've always said through the years um, to audiences and groups and individuals, like, look, if Pink Socks isn't your thing, that's okay. Find what is your thing. Maybe it's a hat, maybe it's
Yeah,
a cool hoodie, maybe it's a button. What is that thing that spurs a connection? That spawns this moment for you to take your earbuds out and say, hey, you know, do that thing,
yeah,
do that thing.
and I think people appreciate that in the book as well. If uh, if you're not going to go to the grocery store and wear your pink socks or something, there's something else that's there. There,
You'll find that it's easier, what I've heard through the years from people is like, well, Nick, you're right. The first time I wore my pink socks, it was a little tough to stop, and because that's not really my vibe. But
yeah,
I kept doing it and it got easier and easier. And then I was wearing my pink socks on purpose just so I could get people to connect with me.
yeah,
Then I figured out that it really wasn't about the pink socks, it was about me. And that's how it is. It really never was about the Pink Sox. It's always been about you all along. So just grateful that the Pink Sox have helped be a catalyst to kickstart what was already there inside of you all along.
yeah. What let's say there's someone who's a little shy. You said they might be shy wearing their pink socks, and maybe they work up to it, and maybe they don't. But what are other ways to align with the purpose and the ethos of pink socks?
Yeah, it's just, showing up in each moment with kindness, empathy, compassion, you know, treating people like we want to be treated. And, that seeing that even though things are very polarized at the moment, uh, that one-on-one, people, we're all more similar than we are different. We all want the same things. We all want to be loved. We want to love. We want to have a world that's in peace. We want to have our friends over for dinner. We want to watch our kids play football or soccer. We want to have a pint with our mate at the pub. These nobody wants conflict. Nobody wants chaos. And so the book, and like Pink Socks, is an opportunity to let go of the algorithms for a minute. Give your mind a break,
Yeah,
right? Neurochemistry is just on fire because of all the social media and all the perma crisis that we stay in because of it. And slip from your mind down into your heart, right? And let your heart speak, let your heart listen, let your heart feel. Because our hearts, they already know the way, they know the path. All we have to do is listen and remember. And I hope the book helps remind us of that our heart does know the way. And all we have to do is listen. You know, everybody has a story to share. All we have to do is stop and listen. So,
That's beautiful sentiment, Nick. And as I was reading the book, something that stood out to me, something that you just mentioned is uh, the opportunity to kind of let everything else go and have this moment of connection. Um, there, if you don't mind, I actually want to read just a paragraph of the book. It's the part that I think stood out to me the most.
great.
You
Yeah.
you say that I love your question of like, well, what does it mean to you? I love that you turn the question back onto people, and so what it has meant to me. Uh, you talk a lot about this idea of gifting and how it creates this moment of connection, which then allows us to speak from our hearts. Um, and not to wax too personal, but Jay was the one who gave me uh, the pink socks that I have,
Yay.
and that was early on, I think, in our podcast journey, and um, Jay and I have become such great friends, and has it's been a part of our friendship, the pink socks, and that's been special for us. Um, but this moment in the book is for me what has been really powerful is the moment of gifting, and this is on page 20. And you talked about, and I'm not going to reveal too much, but there's a moment where you have a connection with someone, but then you take a second here to describe uh, what the gifting experience is like. It says, "It was in that moment that I knew what Pink Socks was really about. They were about connection. They were about sharing space with another person and hearing their heart speak, feeling their story, letting empathy and compassion flow, dropping the background noise to zero, seeing the other person in the now without any judgment, preconceptions, biases, to surrender to the unknowing. Gifting Pink Socks was about love." And as I've been involved in either witnessing people receive their first pair, or me myself gifting some to others, and actually Jay and I did an on-air podcast gifting to a good friend of ours,
Oh
Dr.
yeah,
Zev Newworth.
that's right. That's
Um,
right.
but it's this moment of connection, and it really does that. I mean, I remember when Jay gave me the socks. He looked me right in the eyes and he said, "I see you."
Yeah.
And um and
Way to go, Jay.
uh yeah, and it was
Learn
this
from the best.
authentic, yeah, it was so authentic and real, and I've seen that happen in other moments. And so um I think people are going to love this book. I mean, there are stories that are going to make people cry, that'll make you laugh. There's a story that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat to
Hmm.
see what happens. Um, and anyways,
Well,
it's
Benjamin,
been perfect.
listen, I just want to tell you how grateful I am for you. So, this is the first time I've ever heard anyone read the book to me. So, what a gift that you just gave me. So I'm grateful for you.
Yeah, love you, Nick.
I love you. It's beautiful to hear your heart read that and say it out loud. So, thank you.
And
Yeah,
I,
I was on an airplane when I read that and was like, oh, I hope no one's looking at me as I'm wiping away tears while I was
oh, it
uh,
it brings back good memories for me. I can't remember if we did that at Mayo Transformer, but yeah, it I know it's something that brought Ben and I closer together.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
Well, Nick, as we get things wrapped up here, talk a little bit. Obviously, uh, getting the book, but talk to our listeners about uh, where to go to find out more, how to find out not just about the book, but Pink Sock's life. Is You've mentioned Instagram,
Yeah.
where to
Yeah, yeah.
follow, all that stuff.
The best place to go is just go to our website, pinksocks.life. Pinksocks.life. The book is right there. You'll click on the book and it'll take you to a whole page about the book. Um, the link to purchase the book is there. It's important to note, as a Pinksocks Life Inc. is a 501c3. We're a nonprofit charitable organization. All the proceeds from the sale of the book go to the nonprofit. And, you know, just like all the donations that come in, those are all tax deductible. So, just we're grateful for the help of people through the years that support this mission. And then how we got involved with schools. That's in the book. We don't have
Mhm.
time today, but that's also on the website. Our involvement with schools around the country that are using Pink Socks to teach kids about kindness, so that they'll show up in the world as big humans in the way that we need them to. And I'm just grateful for everyone. And pinksocks.life is also the Instagram account. So if you want to go see a bunch of happy, smiley people
Yeah.
in their pink socks, and people gifting pink socks around the world each day, we try to keep that thing updated every day or so of pink socks gifting activities that are happening around. It's always good to see happy, smiling people. Can't get enough of that. So
Yeah.
Well, I know folks will be uh, really thrilled reading the book. It will leave a lasting impression on them. I do encourage listeners to go to the website, and I know we didn't talk about the schools today, but you have that's one of the work that y'all have done in the schools and how you're impacting uh, thousands of young children. It's really moving in the book, so that's definitely something for our listeners to look for, and where the
and
funds that
I'm really glad we didn't talk about that chapter in the book.
yeah
That chapter in the book I can't get through it. Even just right now, it's hard to even,
yeah
it's so emotional how we became involved
yeah
in helping these schools. And it it's just,
yeah
that being involved with schools has really been the biggest gift to us as an organization, as a tribe, as a community. And to me individually, is seeing how we can help teachers teach these kids pre-K through 12th grade, all the way,
Mhm.
to teach them, as these teachers are helping these kids learn about kindness, empathy, compassion, connection, anti-bullying, all the stuff that grows good humans. So that's just been one of the most beautiful and surprising things that has organically come out of the Pink Socks movement.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will be really excited to read about that, and to see, and that's an opportunity for listeners to help, is how to help spread that across more school. I just can't imagine anything better to teach. There's a lot we can learn. I know we need to learn our math and our reading and uh, all that sort of thing, but kindness, yeah, that's a really good place to start, and we really need it now.
Yeah, and you can, on the website, there's a drop down in the navigation that says teachers. So if you want to visit that on the website, you can learn more about what we're doing with the schools.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Nick, this has been a gift to us to be able to speak with you on the podcast. Um, Maybe a parting word from you on I don't know if you want to call it the slogan or the motto of Pink Socks, which is the world is full of good. When you believe it, you see it. Keep doing that. Would love to get maybe just some concluding thoughts on what you hope Pink Socks becomes, um, and the good that you hope that it will continue to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jay and Benjamin, I'm grateful for both of you, and it has been a gift being here and sharing Heartspeak and listening to your Heartspeak, feeling it. So thank you for that. The message really is, beyond the world is full of good. When you believe it, you see, keep doing that. The world is full of good. It's also full of a bunch of crap as well. But what we focus on is what we see. And so I encourage myself daily. I encourage everyone. The book, I think, tries to encourage you to don't lose sight of all the good in the world. Just because we're getting fire hosed and gaslit every day with negative stuff, don't lose sight of so much good. It's all around us. And, it's the sticker on the socks in the van, the Love More logo, you know, and every now there's either love or fear, and they coexist. They sit right beside each other. And so we have to make a choice, an intentional choice of how we want to show up in each now. And so the book is really a reminder to show up with love, to choose love, choose compassion, choose kindness. That is the way. It's always been the way, and it always will be the way. And so I hope the book helps remind people of that, especially, like I say now, it's so polarized and feels so fractured and broken. Kindness, empathy, love, compassion, cooperation, connection, all of those things, they're not just ideas. They're the glue that hold us together. And we're all in this together. And so let's keep doing that, one smile at a time, one person at a time, one pair of pink socks at a time. Let's keep doing that. Deal?
Deal.
Deal?
Absolutely.
Good. Fist bump.
Nick, thank you so much. We
Thank
love
you.
you.
Love
We
you.
have value the mission of Pink Socks and the good that it's done, and we're committed. We read the book, and we are right there with you, Nick, trying to love more
Well,
and
hey,
focus
listen,
on the good and spread the word.
thank you. Thank you for plugging all of your gear back in, dusting it off. Yeah. So it's just I'm overwhelmed with so much gratitude. Just like I say, Benjamin, listening to you read, that's the first time I've ever heard anybody read it. So I'm going to sit with that for the rest of the day. So thank you. Just,
Yeah, I'm
uh,
honored.
yeah.
When I've been thinking about our listeners who, most work in healthcare, but most are innovators of some kind in various industries, and just how important this message is as an innovator is when you're trying to make change happen, do it with love and with empathy and kindness, and because that's how things are going to actually change and stick and be real.
Yep.
Um, so, Jay, any concluding thoughts?
No, just thank you, Nick, for creating the book, and maybe after you get the next one or two done, we'll come out of hiding again and we'll talk
All
again.
right. Hey, well, way to go on that gifting experience, Jay. So just keep doing that, man. It's magic. Yeah.
Outstanding. Nick, again, thank you so much for joining us on a Sherpa's Guide to Innovation podcast. This is Jay Gerhardt and Ben Tingy signing off for a while.